Hello, thank you for joining me for my latest edition of the Town Administrator's Report. I'm Leon Goman, your Town Administrator, and I periodically bring forward to you news of the town of West Boylston, what's going on, and what you should be aware of. Today, I have a couple of announcements, and then we have some special guests that I'm going to introduce you to. We're here today with a kind of a unique and exciting opportunity for the town of West Boylston. I'm here with Raghu Nadan and David Demanche, both from ADM Live. So without further ado, I want to introduce both David and Raghu, and I thank you both for joining me today for the Town Administrator's Report.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good. Why don't you describe a little bit about yourselves and a little bit about your company?
Sure. We are a statewide contractor. We have been in the public space for about 5 years now. We have done projects with the state, and one of the things that when our experience through the state, we had some experience looking at the towns and municipalities, and we found that the adaptation of technology wasn't there in most of especially the smaller and medium-sized towns and municipalities in Massachusetts. So we decided to focus our attention on the town and municipality space. Value added software system that could be useful. It's the same PDF. It goes through our engine, but it enables the end user to enter the data online, pay online, sign online, and submit the whole form online. And we started talking to David, who has been a town administrator for 18 years, about that.
It's worked because we've had an opportunity to have a number of meetings and talk about specifically how the program should work in the municipal environment. And with my experience as an administrator, I was able to basically help them to navigate the waters that sometimes are in municipal government, and how to put together the forms and the workflow in such a way that it makes sense, and lend that part of my experience to the team.
Now you've started this program in Massachusetts, but also in the town of West Boylston. So tell me, how does this work in West Boylston, and how should the citizens, when they come in, think any differently about how they're going to conduct the town's business?
Yes. Right now we have it in building department, and by the time the show is aired, we'll be having it in the assessor's office and board of health. Steps. So right now we have a kiosk-like computer terminal, and citizens can come in, and instead of writing it on the application form, they can go into that computer, enter the data online, and submit it.
Yep.
And then on the town side, once they submit, the actual form that they filled out gets stored along with the data. And then on the town side, we have built a portal where if it's a building permit, it first goes to building department, and it shows up as pending permits on the building department. They click on one button, they can actually see the form that was signed and filled by the applicant. They can click on another button, they can see if the payment has been made. And then once they approve it, it's off of their pending list. It now shows up on the, it's a workflow, it's a configurable workflow. It now shows up on the treasurer and collector. Treasurer collector offices checks, they approve it, it shows up on the assessors. And then finally it shows up on the building inspector's pending list. And he can approve it, digitally sign it. Right now he can print it and mail the application back. At some stage we'll have, once the building inspector's sign is on the application, we'll have the approved permit application emailed back to the applicant. So it's all done electronically without the use of paper, which from an applicant's point of view makes the permit processing much quicker and much streamlined. From a town point of view, it's much streamlined process, and it provides efficiencies built into it without the
that are built into it. The first being the kiosk, the ability for the town resident to come in and fill out the application online at the terminal, but ultimately being able to do that same function from the comforts of their home.
Right.
Through a web portal.
And what we're doing is we're taking, as you said, baby steps. We're starting off with a test case in the building department. We're testing the software to see how it works out, how it integrates with our systems and with our, operations as well. We're going to move to the assessor's office and the Board of Health office because we've had some preliminary successes with the building department.
Yeah.
And as you said, we're going to look to do this online.
Yeah.
So people at
And the beauty of that is that, that's the convenience of the resident.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And from the town perspective, there's a number of benefits, one of which being there's no duplicity in terms of having a paper application come in,
Right.
then reduplicating the information into the computer, and which is a time savings and a cost savings for the town. The tracking component of the program allows the inspector or the department head to be aware of some of the timelines that are out there that could adversely impact the application, and through the email notification process, let the other proponents in the process know that, hey, we're getting close to the timeline. It's important that you submit your response, and ultimately coming back to the department head. And from a payment standpoint, the town, once the application is complete, through an agreement that we've made with Unibank, the payment comes into the town immediately and is, money that can earn interest on behalf of the town. So there are a number of benefits to the town and to the residents of West Boylston.
Yeah, certainly the residents will find this to be a much easier way. I mean, we do open late one day a week in the building department. We're usually open earlier than most departments are open, or the town hall is officially open, to try to be more convenient. But a lot of times people, they don't have the time during the day to come over to town hall, fill out an application, and just for a pool permit or something.
Absolutely.
This should eventually make it a lot easier for the citizens of the town.
And they can actually, once they complete it, if they're online, they can print it out and have a hard copy for themselves. Once the process is complete, eventually, like Raghu had said, the application will actually be emailed back to the applicant. So, you have a permit in hand, ready to do whatever it is you want to do. If it's a pool permit, a driveway permit. And I think just from a workflow perspective, I think it's a great thing for having been in town government and understanding how things happen sometimes in terms of timelines slipping.
Yep.
The notifications built within the program are a critical component to the operation of the department, and making sure that things get done when they're supposed to get done, and keeping everybody on the same page.
Now, David, how would that work? Is there you're saying that there's a mechanism in place where if someone submits an application, they have X amount of days to get back to them?
Yeah, and the notice pops up a flag that says, hey, you have 14 days to take action on that. Otherwise, it may, in some instances, be granted by default.
You're right. Performance measurement program within the town where we measure performance of our department heads and our various departments. One of the things that it seems like we can do with this is that once we start going full force to this new system, we would be able to measure how long it takes for an average application to work its way through the process in West Boylston. And it could be one of those things that we could use in our economic development and touting the town as a very business-friendly community to do business with when the applications take a very limited amount of time to get through the process.
Sure.
Exactly. The whole point is streamlining the process. David had a very good point that we have flags set up so that it kind of wants if it's beyond a certain limit. And one more advantage about the system is a conservation piece of it. It's really a green solution. Come to think about it.
Take any form that we have in the town, and just convert it into a digital online application or computer application.
Exactly. That's where we differ. It's not a web form. It's not a special form. It's the same PDF form that's there already that gets enabled for the end user to enter data online, submit it online, we not only save the data, which by the way is useful for generating reports, queries,
Yep.
business intelligence, statistical analysis, all those nice things, but actually store the actual form that the applicant fill,
Good.
and use that to process further. And also from a marketing point of view, David and I talked about that. From a marketing point of view, we want to make it affordable for the towns and municipalities, especially the smaller towns and municipalities. So we are not trying to sell the whole license. We are going to instead go with a subscription model, subscription to use. So the starting price could be as low as $150 a month, and we are going to eliminate the setup fees for the rest of this fiscal year, because as you know, there was budget cuts in this
Yep.
fiscal years. So we thought about it, and usually the setup fees is about $1,000 to $5,000 depending upon the size of the. So we are going to eliminate that. We are going to have the waive off the setup fees for the next fiscal year for any town who wants to sign up with us.
Good. Well, listen, I wish you guys the best of
Oh,
luck. We're
thank
happy
you.
to be your guinea pig and your
Oh.
partner in this effort, and we hope that you're successful and that your product is something that we can utilize for many, many years.
Oh, I'm